into the webinar. For the time being, if you come to the chat box, just let me know you can hear and see everything clear, so we can continue on. Okay, great. I got one response. If more of you can let me know, make sure you can hear me and you can see the PowerPoint. Please just say yes in the chat box. Okay, so I see a couple of yeses, so I'm assuming all of you can hear me and see the PowerPoint. All right, so let's jump in. So like I said, this is how to bring in more business using the Mortgage Eligibility Map secret. Just so you guys know ahead of time, this is going to be about USDA loans. A loan product I think that is very underused. I know a lot of the maps were changed a few years back for USDA, but there's still a lot of available areas, you know, surrounding the cities, in suburban areas, and I think it's a big market for millennials as well. Me being a millennial, I'm looking for, you know, areas that surround the city, not necessarily in the city. And if you use the eligibility map correctly and use it wisely, you can actually find some more business and, you know, maybe advertise to the millennial consumers that there's a zero down payment mortgage program out there in this specific area. All right, so let's jump in. Okay, so that's me. I'm Joe Pohl. I'm the digital marketing specialist here at RAC, and as you can see, I am a millennial too. So after this, we'll be doing a live Q&A. So not only can you ask me questions about USDA, you can also ask about marketing, or if you have any general millennial questions that you want to pick my brain about, you know, feel free to do so. So I always like to do a little housekeeping at first, just so you guys know who RAC is. We are a wholesale correspondent lender licensed in 16 states across the country. We consider ourselves a group of lending specialists, and we are dedicated to helping mortgage professionals close difficult loans on time. We work one-on-one with brokers. That's one of the things that separates us from some of your bigger lenders out there. You know, you have direct access to our underwriters. You have full collaboration from our account executives. You have us with you throughout the entire process. Some of the other key benefits include 24-hour underwriting. In parentheses there, I put 72 hours for commissions. We accept rent-free letters in lieu of VOR for all our government programs. FHA and VA, we go down to 500 with no overlays. And USDA, we go down to 580 with no overlays. I included the pre-quals email address, just in case you guys don't know. Another one of the benefits of being a client with us is we give you a complimentary pre-qual service where you can submit the 1003 and credit report to us to that email address. One of our underwriters will look at it in a day or maybe 24 hours and let you know if it's even doable in-house. This way, you know, you don't waste your time, we don't waste ours, you know, with the impossible ones, let's put it that way. I've also included a link to our website, www.racmcg.com. You know, visit us, check us out, check out our loan programs. I just rebuilt the new website, so we have a website there if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, and like I said, we'll do a live Q&A at the end if you guys have any questions for me. All right, so let's dive into the millennial USDA home buyer. Now, millennials, and I can say this from my own perspective, I had no idea what a USDA loan was. I barely even knew what the USDA was, to be honest with you. I had no idea they did mortgages until I got into the mortgage industry. So, it's a pretty big deal because this is the only no down payment mortgage that's out there for non-military borrowers. So I feel like it's a big deal, and I've taken a look at the maps personally, the eligibility maps that the USDA offers, and I've seen some really desirable areas surrounding the cities where these loans apply to. So no down payment, that's definitely a great selling point, especially if you're not in the military. And I see little stats about us, about millennials. What do they want in a home? Single-family home. That's what most of us want. And for USDA, they do the single-family guarantee loan, so it's perfect. Neighborhood choice, convenience to job, that's usually surrounding cities. So even the suburban neighborhoods would work out. And where do they want to live? 49% of millennials in this particular survey said that they want to live in the suburbs. And that's good news because most of the brokers I've talked to and loan officers, they believe that millennials are just looking for urban city areas. But no, that's not true. I know personally I don't want to live in the city. I like working in the city. I work in Tampa. Obviously, that's where we're headquartered. But I'd prefer to live outside of the city in the suburb areas, and which USDA loans do apply to. So I call it USDA suburbia. So with the eligibility maps, borrowers really don't need to buy a farm or live alone on a mountaintop to qualify for the USDA loan program. I know people who don't know a lot about USDA, that's what they think it is. It's all about farms. And to be honest with you, I've done some research on USDA, and I don't really see a lot of farm loans out there that they even offer. So, it's mainly for your general borrowers. And the agency definition of rural may surprise you. Like I said before, it's a lot of suburban areas. According to the 2010 census, about 97% of the U.S. land mass is considered rural under one program or another. So technically, rural means suburban neighborhoods as well. And, this applies to 36% of the U.S. population. This is outside of cities. So the people are out there, and this is a great program. It's no down payment. So I advise you to take advantage of it. And, this would be a big selling point for me as a millennial. So maybe you should consider, when you target your millennials, to offer this out there, saying, hey, there's a no down payment mortgage out there that's available to non-military personnel. They're not for big city property, like we have been discussing. You can't get USDA eligibility in major city areas, but just outside of the major metros or within smaller cities, there are many eligible houses. So a little bit later on, we're going to click out of this PowerPoint and we're going to go right into the USDA property eligibility map. I'm going to show you some cool little things, and especially the one secret, and this is why you guys all tuned into this webinar, comparing it to other websites that show listings. And I'm going to show you guys, how to kind of pick apart the maps and find properties that you can help real estate agents advertise for, or you can call the real estate agent and say, hey, listen, if you have any borrowers, I got this great loan program to offer your borrowers that are looking at the houses. Property borrowers can buy single-family house. Obviously, we talked about that before. We also do USDA manufactured homes and modular homes. So how does it measure up, FHA versus USDA? Now, I know a lot of you guys know that last October, the USDA lowered their upfront and annual fees. So this, I just want to show you guys this, and I know it's been a while and you probably have seen this comparison before, but FHA is, in my opinion, the most popular government program that's out there. Most people, most borrowers, and millennials are big fans of FHA loans because they cover everywhere, and the income eligibility is a little bit less than USDA. But looking at the annual upfront fees for everything, the loan amount and how much the payments are going to be, you can clearly see here that with the new upfront and annual fees that the USDA enacted in October, that the payments are actually less than FHA. So not only is this a zero down payment program, but the fees are less, so causing a less mortgage payment, a lower mortgage payment. So I think, that's another huge part of it, why I believe USDA is definitely a product that we all should take advantage of. Now, the all-powerful USDA loan. I just want to make some things in here, about the USDA loan that we don't normally think about, but it is the only zero-down payment program available for non-veterans. Here we go down to 580 with no overlays. We underwrite to the USDA guidelines. So whatever they lay out, that's what we underwrite to. We do manual underwriting for GUS referred files. And the guidelines are very lenient. The only restrictions that I really see that could cause a problem are the income eligibility. I know in the Tampa area, I think the limit is set at $75,000 or $76,000 a year. But you could rework those numbers with, depending on how many dependents you have and other payments you're making. We also accept rent-free letters in lieu of VOR for USDA. We do manufactured lending. We have a great pilot program in Louisiana, Texas, and Ohio where you can finance existing manufactured homes. That was not an option previously for USDA, but in those 3 states, they're trying it out. So if you guys are located in those states and you want to follow up with me after the webinar, I'll send you some information about our manufactured lending pilot program. It's also, like I said, it's a no down payment, but it's also 101% LTV, which means you can roll the closing, or your borrower can roll their closing costs into the loan, which is another huge selling point because, always the borrowers have to come to the closing table. They have their costs, but for the USDA loan, you could finance a little bit over. This way, they can cover their closing costs. You can up to 6 cent seller concessions, which helps with QM. VOR not needed with GUS accept or if GUS referred 680 plus. Only 2 trade lines are needed to avoid a manual underwrite. Only 1 year out of bankruptcy, Chapter 7 is now eligible if mortgage is not included. 1 day out of Chapter 13, they're eligible to apply for a loan, no waiting period for that. So, these are all little selling points that you guys can use, in your marketing materials to show people how powerful this loan is. I included this, and you guys are going to get a copy of the slides when we're done with this webinar. So you guys could take a look at the acceptable alternative trade lines. Like I said, USDA is very lenient. So if your borrowers have this could be acceptable as a trade line. And like I said, there's going to be a live Q&A. I see a couple of questions rolling in now. I'm going to get to them at the end. Thank you for putting them in there now, just in case you forget. I'll get to them once we go through the eligibility map, and I'll show you guys a few little tricks. You will get a recording of this webinar as well as the slides, so you can review it, and you can always follow up with me and ask me questions later on. I've included my contact information there. You can reach me at 813-951-1828. And also, that's my email address. So when you get these slides, if you want to click it open and send me an email, feel free. So let's jump to, all right, so if you land on our website, we'll start here. If you go to our broker resources tab and you go to news and resources, this is helpful not only for the USDA eligibility map, but if you guys need to know how to submit a loan with us, here's a short version. I think it's about a 6 to 7 minute video shows you how to submit a loan package, as well as conditions. We give you tips and tricks on how to pass QM every time. So there's some neat webinars that I've done in the past that you guys can check out. Our 6-step closing process video, and then there's the helpful documents, and this is where the USDA eligibility site is. And we also have additional docs that you can check out, a news feed, and our Facebook feed. So I'm going to click on USDA eligibility site. I'm going to start with a single family housing guaranteed. So I just want to show you guys this right off the bat. There's a really nice area by Tampa with some good schools right here, Ruskin. Now, as you can see, all the ones that are kind of shaded in that beige color, those are ones that are ineligible for USDA financing. So obviously Tampa is a city, so there's not going to be a lot of USDA financing involved. I mean, there's some little areas next to it that you might be able to find eligible property. But most of Tampa, Pinellas County, out by the coast here, this is all ineligible. But this city right here, Ruskin, this is a nice area. And, you know, all these properties are eligible for USDA financing. Now, so once we start here, now we can pull in Realtor.com. And I know, you know, Realtor.com, Zillow, this is what most borrowers are using because, let's face it, the millennial generation is always going to start online. We're going to do our searches for properties through sites like this just because it's convenient, it's easy, and, you know, we were born in the online era. So that's why I use Realtor.com. So I think the best thing to do is, you know, find an area that you think is, you know, a hot area that's surrounding the city that would be good for your borrowers. And you find it here, okay, so we're going off of Ruskin. Then you just click in Russ, Florida on Realtor.com. You scroll through, you see what kind of properties are available. The USDA does have limits on size, so I'll show you that as well. But let's just take a property for now. Let's find one in Ruskin. Okay, so here's one for 215. So we'll click open, and once you get here, you guys know how this works. You can contact a real estate agent, and I think this just gets you in the door because you know who posted it, and you can contact them and basically say to this real estate agent, hey, listen, I got this great USDA program, no down payment, and it's available in this area. So I think that's a huge open the door, you know, for getting you more business just from using this eligibility map. You know, you could see all of Ruskin, the surrounding areas, Apollo Beach, and I saw a couple Apollo Beach listings in there as well. And you can pretty much just find what areas are USDA eligible. Go to Realtor.com, click around on some properties here. Let's see if we can pick another one. Yeah, so here's another one for 235. And like I said, you know, the real estate agent has their contact information. You can contact them there. Contact the agent here. And you could just write just a little note to them saying, hey, listen, saw this property. Just want to let you know that I have a great mortgage program that you can share with your borrowers. It's no down payment, and it's available in this area. Like I said, I think this is no secret. Anybody can use this, but you know, I just wanted to let you guys know I participated in a webinar, and they were talking about how underused the USDA program is, and they showed this little secret, and I said, man, this would be really neat to show our customers. So definitely use this to your advantage. And also, like I was talking about before, you can find the USDA income limits. Here you can click on any state. I'm in Florida, and that's mostly what we're focusing on, Ruskin, Florida, which is by the Tampa area. And you click on the state here. All right, it's taking a second to load up. Okay, so you can select your area here, and we were just in the Tampa area, so we'll click that. And this will show you the income limits. So right there, one to four person household, $75,650. So for a four-person household, that doesn't sound reasonable. But if you target a millennial couple that's looking for their first starter house in an area like Ruskin, Florida, which is really nice, you know, great schools, great area, right by the bay. You know, it's definitely a nice area for a millennial couple to start their their lives. They have their first house, their starter house. And, honestly, most millennials just starting in their careers, maybe 2 years into it. Together, they're probably only making around 70, maybe 75,000. So they are going to qualify for this program. And I also wanted to show you guys, the USDA also has income eligibility and income limits here, which you can pretty much fill this out, and it will let you know if the income you're dealing with for your borrowers is acceptable. So I'm just going to just do Hillsborough County, because that's what we're talking about now. Then you could do number of people in the household, under 18 children. I'm just going to put 0 for now. No. We'll go to next. And then you're just going to put in, their base employment income, their gross monthly income, of your borrower, of their spouse. And then once you click finish, it will let you know if your borrowers are eligible for USDA financing, whether through the single-family housing guarantee loan or the single-family housing direct loan. I think that's a neat little tool as well. And like I said, they do the income limits as well. So you can go through here, click Florida. You can find by county, area, what the income limits are. So I think, this is an advantage here because the USDA really shows you exactly the areas that are available for USDA financing, the eligibility income-wise, the income limits. They're pretty much handing it to you. So, if you do have a borrower that's interested in a specific area, you can put all their information in there, see if it qualifies. And like I said, going through this property eligibility map, we'll go back to Ruskin, Florida. Going through this eligibility map and kind of looking around what areas are available for USDA financing, and just pop in that zip code or a specific address if you want, clicking on a property that's for sale in that area, contacting the realtor and saying, hey, listen, notice that you have this listing out there. I have a really great mortgage program. And, you start the conversation right there, maybe help them advertise the borrowers, as well. And you can help them advertise even online. I'm thinking right now off the top of my head, like Facebook advertising. If you wanted to, you can get in contact with them. Say you have this really great USDA no down payment loan program, and if they're interested, then you guys can work together and you can advertise the property, virtual tours, and mention that this property is available for a no down payment loan program, and advertise it to that specific area. You could target it to millennials. You could target the people who are likely to buy. And I think this, will really help you bring in more USDA business. And, I honestly, and this is coming from a millennial perspective, I do believe that this is a great program because there's a lot of eligible areas that you don't even think about right outside the metro areas, right outside the city areas that, are hot, and it puts them in close proximity to the city, probably where they're working, but also out of the city so they don't have to deal with the hustle and bustle. And, this is just a specific example of Ruskin, it's right by the bay. It's beautiful, so. So yeah, I suggest going to our website, go to the news and resources page, check out the USDA eligibility map, and, look around your area. I mean, it shows, exactly what places are off limits. And like I said, it's mainly just the cities. Surrounding areas, all available for USDA financing. One article I read, it said 97% is available for USDA financing. So it's about finding that niche little market outside the city that's desirable to borrowers, whether it be millennials or, older generation, Gen X, whatever the case may be. But I think, contacting these realtors in those specific areas and saying, hey, I got this no down payment program available to your borrowers, and help them advertise to, first-time borrowers, first-time buyers, I think this would be a huge advantage and definitely could increase your business. Okay, so I'm just going to close out of that. I'll bring up my information again. All right, so I'd like to open up the floor to you guys, and I see you've already asked some questions here. With the pre-qual service, do we get how much they qualify for? So our pre-qual service is basically you send us the 1003 and credit report. We look it over and see if the loan is even doable in-house. Not necessarily how much they qualify for. That can be down the road once you submit the loan package to us, including the income, the tax returns, and all the necessary documents that go within the loan package. So the pre-qual is really just a surface look, and we'll let you know if it's wise to even send it to us. Look, we don't want to waste your time or waste ours, so we'll let you know right off the bat if it's a doable loan in-house. I got another question. Can you roll closing costs in the loan if it appraised at value, or does it have to be higher? I believe it has to be higher. Kyle, I'm going to talk to our head USDA underwriter, and I'm going to get back to you personally. I have your email address, so I'll send you a message after this webinar. Is there a preferred browser for racmtg.com? For the new website, I do recommend to you guys to use Chrome. Google Chrome seems to be the most receptive to our website. If you do have Internet Explorer, just make sure that you have the latest version of it. If it's anything earlier than the latest version, our website won't function as well. For Firefox, it functions fine. Diane, you asked, what about income limits for USDA? I believe I just showed you that. I'll send you guys the links as well so you can check it out, so you guys can see what the income eligibility limits are for your specific county, city, wherever you live. You'll have those links. You guys can check it out, play around with it. Like I said, you can access the links also through our website if you go to our News and Resources tab. And if you click open the USDA Eligibility Map, you can kind of put in your own information in there and see what the limits are. Okay, I'll give you guys another minute. If you can think of any questions, whether it be about USDA, digital marketing, I noticed I mentioned some advertising, the eligibility maps, whatever you guys want to ask, I'll leave it open for one more minute. If you can't think of anything now, like I said, you'll have the PowerPoint slides, so you can email me, you can give me a call if you just want to chat, if you want to ask me for my advice on any kind of marketing stuff or our loan programs. Okay, Terry said, thanks, Joe. When will you be sending out the PowerPoint? As soon as this is over, honestly, you're probably going to take a lunch because I'm starving. But when I do come back, you guys will be getting the PowerPoint and a recording of the webinar by the end of the day today. And that's our time, Eastern Standard Time. So by probably about 5 o'clock. Okay, can we reach out to you about other loan programs? Yeah, of course. You have my information. You can call me at 813-935-1828. And if you have any other questions about any of our other loan programs, yeah, I'd be happy to answer them. Or you can email me if I'm not available at that time, and you'll have my email address as well. Okay, Wayne asked, manufactured homes used acceptable. Okay, so for USDA, they have a pilot program that's going on right now in Louisiana, Ohio, and Texas, where you can finance existing manufactured homes. If you are in that state, I advise you to send me an email, and I'll send you some more information about it. Or you can tell me in the chat box right now to send you more information about it. As for regular USDA manufactured lending, I would recommend new manufactured homes. Yes, I will be sending a recording of the webinar as well. You'll get the PowerPoints and a recording of the webinar. It'll be the full length, so watch it through again. Check out the eligibility map, what I did with that against Realtor.com, and finding the ways to connect with the agent, offering them the USDA program to offer to their borrowers. Okay, yes, Drew will send you some more information. All right, guys, thank you so much. I don't see any more questions coming through, so I'm going to hop off. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. I really hope you guys got something out of this, and when you re-watch the webinar, check it out and see if it works for you. I mean, I think, and I've seen one of our loan officers use this exact thing to get in contact with some real estate agents, and it's worked for him. So, watch the webinar again, check it out, and if you want, let me know how these tips and how this little eligibility map secret worked out for you guys. I'd love to hear some feedback. And just so you know, keep your eyes open. I'm hosting at least 1 to 2 webinars a month. The next one I'm going to be hosting is about digital advertising, mainly through Facebook and Google. It'll probably be mostly about Facebook, but I'll throw in some Google tips in there as well. So keep your eyes open for that. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you next time.